There's a stigma around manifestation that it's crazy, that people who do it are crazy, that people are going to literally cast spells on you, put your name under a pillow. I said that like I've done it before. But all it really is self-improvement. And we're going to talk about why. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're not new here, hey icons, welcome back. I have a new setup today. It's so cute. I literally rearranged my entire desk for this setup, and I got some new candles. I tried to set the vibes really nicely. And quick little announcement, I got a tattoo. This is like exactly what I wanted. I'm not gonna get close because I don't want to like set myself on fire. It's a matching butterfly tattoo with my sister's. And yeah, I have a question for you. Number one, why would you not want to do nice things for yourself if the only side effect is joy? Right? As I said in the intro, manifestation is literally just self-improvement, and it doesn't have to be this crazy thing where, like I said, you're literally writing people's names, someone's name, and putting it under your pillow. Like, it's not that. It's self-improvement, and it's literally just believing that good things are going to happen for you. Another question, why wouldn't you want to believe that good things are going to happen for you? Why wouldn't you want to go through your life shifting your mindset to work with you rather than against you? And it's literally never too late to shift your mindset. And when you can shift your mindset, you can shift your life, because that is what shifted my life. For me to be able to find joy in every single thing is just little mindset shifts. I just started reading the book Atomic Habits today, and it talks a lot about small shifts changing your life. And I've known that firsthand. Like, I started to make small shifts to my mindset, which ended up making me find joy and beauty in everything in my life and enjoy my life more and find who I really wanted to be and who I am. A simple definition is believing good things will happen for you, persisting in that belief, and aligning your words, thoughts, aligning your words, thoughts, and actions with that belief. So, for example, if you want to make a lot of money, okay, all you need to do is believe that you are going to make a lot of money, inevitably. It's not up to you how it happens, it's not up to you when it happens. All you need to do is believe that it's going to happen eventually. Okay? That's all you have to do. And, well, that's not all you have to do. You also need to align your actions with it. What are you going to do to make this money? And how are you going to align your beliefs with it? You know, when you're in the waiting period of waiting for a manifestation, you align your words and your actions and your thoughts. It starts in your mind, and then your actions come last. And when you're in that waiting period, you shift your belief. For example, your bank account is low. Instead of being like, I can't afford this, I don't have money, just be like, I am eventually going to have enough money to afford this. Everything is provided for me at the right time. This was an example I used in my last episode where I was running low on money, and I was like, okay, everything's going to be provided at the right time. And that's when I started to get all of my little graduation money and everything like that. God, the universe, whatever you believe in, is conspiring to give you what you want. The signals that you send to whatever you believe in is what is going to happen. So, like, if you believe that bad things always happen to you and you're not meant for good things, okay, then you won't be. That's the signal that you're sending out into the world. But if you believe that you're meant for what you want and your desires are inevitable, they are. Also, another misconception about manifestation that I've heard is that you can't believe in God at the same time. But I believe in God, and I also believe that there's nothing wrong with me believing that good things are going to happen for me and persisting in that belief and learning about manifestation, because I've seen so many celebrities talk about it, which I'm going to also get into that as well. More than anything, shifting what I believe, how I see myself and how I see my life has changed everything for me, has changed my life and my happiness more than anything. And I've been able to use little practices like affirmations or journaling or anything like that in order to find more beauty and joy in everyday life. It's self-care, it's self-improvement, it's believing in beauty and magic. The key to manifestation is persisting in your belief, because what you believe will happen becomes inevitable, and that shouldn't scare you. It should be a way to reframe your thoughts and your words and your actions. And I believe that the second thought matters more. So if you get a thought of like, oh, I can't afford that, it's up to you to shift that and be like, actually, even if I can't afford it, okay, that's still saying you can't afford it. Everything is provided for me at the right time, and I will afford this. You know, whatever it is that you need to say. Everybody, when they're a kid, they get visions of what their future life could look like. I truly believe that the dreams that you have when you're a kid are there for a reason, okay? And a lot of people don't choose to follow them. But some people, like me, choose to follow them. I'm choosing to follow the visions that I've had for myself since I was literally like 5 or 6 years old, because I don't want to let down my younger self. If you can envision it in your head, it can happen. So I have no idea how it's going to work out. I have no idea how it's going to happen, but that isn't up to me. All that matters is that I persist in the belief that what I want is inevitable, and I align my words, thoughts, and actions with that belief, and that I keep showing up even if I have no idea what I'm doing or what's going on. You can't expect to be perfect immediately when you're trying something or when you're doing something. You just have to believe that eventually you're going to learn what you're doing. I have entertained these beliefs of everything that I want. I've visualized everything that I want for my life since I was little, and I've continued to entertain those beliefs and continued to envision it, and it eventually helped me realize or decide that it's inevitable. And it's taken so long for me to believe that, but it takes a lot of practice and it takes a lot of time and dedication in order to do that. And something that's really helpful for me is, big or small, every time something comes into my life that I've been wanting to happen, I write it down. So if I ever am struggling to believe in myself, I will look back and be like, okay, this is what I manifested for myself. Yes, it's you. Yes, you're the creator of your reality. Yes, what you believe about yourself in your life happens, but it's also a higher power conspiring to help you. It's also important to look for little signs that you're on the right path. So an example is, I was feeling really lost, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna ask to start seeing a specific sign that I'm on the right path. I asked to start seeing gold cars as a sign, and I see them everywhere I go. Like, I saw one today while I was out at the library. Hey, I see them everywhere, especially recently. So that just is like a little reminder to me. Another thing is white butterflies, which is why I have a butterfly tattoo. Because, first of all, they are supposed to be signs of like passed on loved ones. And before I graduated, I asked for a sign that my grandma was watching me graduate. And I saw 2 white butterflies at my graduation rehearsal, which I take to be my grandma and my great grandma watching over me. You also need to remember that everything is always done for your own good, whether good or bad. Even if it's something that's difficult, it's leading to something better. Another key to manifestation is not constantly looking for proof. Like I said, all you need to do is believe that what you want is already on its way, because how and when is not up to you, and all you have to do is just decide it's yours and accept it, and then you just wait, and you don't need to look for proof. You don't need to keep looking at your bank account and saying, did it come in yet? Did it come in yet? Like, it will. You cause delays when you search for proof, because a quote that really resonated with me that I saw was, when you stop searching, things find you. And I've seen a real life example of this in my life. I was searching for a job this year, and I was searching every single day, calling all the time, applying all the time, doing all this, which obviously there's nothing wrong with doing that, but I got so exhausted from doing that, and I slowed down a little bit. I was like, I'm going to give myself grace. I'm going to slow down. And so I slowed down, and that was when I got a call for an interview to the job that I have now. And I also went into the interview thinking, no matter what happens, even if I don't get the job, that's what's meant to happen. and I got the job because I was so detached from the outcome, and I wasn't searching and I wasn't clinging on to a specific outcome. Because when you cling on to a specific outcome, it makes it harder for it to happen. Another misconception is that if whatever you want doesn't come into your life, it's that you did something wrong or that you need to manifest harder. But that desire is just waiting to come in at the right time or something better. You need to adopt the mindset that what you want is coming into your life or something better. Because I had an interview at this place that I really wanted. I know I always use this as an example, but it's just a really good example for a lot of things that I've struggled with, a lot of things that I get anxious about. I use this as an example to prove it wrong. But anyways, this job that I really, really wanted, I got an interview and I was so excited, and I got rejected, and it literally felt like the end of the world. But something even better came into my life that I didn't even realize was better for me until I got it. And I just lost my train of thought. So there are also things that can block your manifestations, like your limiting beliefs. I have struggled a lot with self-doubt, and I've worked so hard to shift my beliefs on that. Your limiting beliefs can delay your manifestations, but like I said a million times, what matters most is that you persist in the belief that it's inevitable. So even if you like doubtful thoughts come up, at least you still have that foundation of, I don't even care if I get doubtful thoughts because I know that my desires are inevitable. Because I get doubtful thoughts all the time, but I have such a strong belief that what I want is meant for me that those doubts don't affect it, because I am able to catch those doubts when they come in and reframe them and get closer every single day to what I really want, because I know that it's going to happen no matter what. There's no other choice but my desires or something better. Now we're going to talk about the 3 laws of manifestation. Law of assumption, law of attraction, and law of detachment. The law of assumption is assuming that a future version of yourself already has what you want or something better. Law of attraction is doing things that make you happy in order to reaffirm to yourself that you can be happy without your desire. Like, your desire isn't the only source of happiness that you can get. And then the law of detachment is letting go of how it's going to happen and just accepting that it's going to happen. And the most useful thing that I've found in my life is to combine all 3 of them. So, for example, the job that I have now, I use the law of assumption by assuming that my future self already has whatever job is meant for her, even if it's not this one. Okay? Law of attraction. I spent after the interview, I spent the next few days doing things that I knew would make me feel happy and good about life, that weren't the desire itself. And then the law of detachment, I detached from the outcome by accepting that I was going to get the job if I was meant to, and I wasn't going to get it if I wasn't meant to. And that is how I got that job. Here's like a key that I literally have this written down for me to see every day. Focus, beliefs, feelings, thoughts, actions, in that order. Remember that order. Focus, beliefs, feelings, thoughts, actions. So you start at your focus, and you have to reframe each thing starting at what you focus on. So what do you focus on? What thoughts do you focus on? Do you focus on the positive? Do you focus on the negative? And you reframe it. Once you do that, what do you believe about yourself in your life? Reframe that. Do you believe that good things are meant for you, or do you believe that bad things always happen to you? Reframe that. Your feelings. What do you feel on a daily basis? You don't have to fix the negative feelings by any means, but you have to acknowledge them, notice them, name them, sit with them, because something that helps is to let your emotions be visitors. Know that there's nothing wrong with feeling deeply. There's nothing wrong with your emotions and your vulnerability, which I made another podcast episode about. Your thoughts. What do you think about on a daily basis? What do you think about on a daily basis? Come on. And then your actions are the last thing. You have to start with your mind and what you focus on and your beliefs and everything, because your subconscious mind rules 95% of your reality. So you have to start by reframing your mind before you align your actions. Your actions are the last thing that you need to focus on, okay? It's important to water the right seeds, okay? If you constantly get negative thoughts and you entertain those thoughts, more negative thoughts are going to come up and more negative things are going to happen in your life. But if you get positive thoughts and you entertain those thoughts and you water those seeds, more positive things will happen for you and more positive thoughts will come into your mind. And I've seen this firsthand because when I started to reframe my thoughts to be positive, that's when I started to become happier. I started to find more beauty. I started to find more joy, and good things just started to happen for me. And even if bad things happened, negative things happened, I would be like, okay, how am I going to move forward? Or I would still have a positive mindset and I would still be able to look at the positive side of things. And I know that like this is a lot of information and it's all easier said than done. It's not that easy to just completely reframe your mind. It's not something that happens overnight and it takes a lot of dedication. But when I tell you it's worth it, I mean it. And I literally feel like if you don't get it, I sound crazy to you, but I don't care because the right people will find this video and the right people will understand what I'm saying and the right people will, period. The thoughts that you entertain will grow. Think of them like seeds. Another key part of manifestation is to act like the version of yourself that has everything you want. What do they wear? What's their routine? How do they carry themselves? How do they speak? How do they walk into a room? Because the more that you act like them, the closer that you will get to fully becoming them and achieving everything that they have. It takes a lot of practice, but I feel so proud of who I am and who I'm becoming, and I feel like I've really been able to just live as the version of myself that I am. Like, for example, I will get a thought of like, I should do this, and then I get scared and I'm like, no, like, what if this happens? Like, what will these people think of me? Whatever. But then I'm like, okay, but the version of myself who has everything I want would just do that, no question. So then I do it anyways. And every little action like that compounds and makes you closer to the highest version of yourself. I feel like I am the highest version of myself. And yes, I'm still growing and I'm still getting closer to becoming that version. But I'm so like I'm a different person than I was at the beginning of this year. Oh my gosh, the wax is going through and landing on my desk. How is that even possible? How is that even possible? Anyways, so now we're going to talk about some examples with celebrities. So the first example that a lot of you might know is Jim Carrey. Before he was like Jim Carrey, he wrote himself a check for $10 million. His future self, I mean, he wrote his future self a check for $10 million. And the next movie he made, the next movie he was in literally made him like $10 million. Okay? Another thing is Sabrina Carpenter. If you look at her interviews, she has so many examples of her speaking things into existence. For example, touring with Taylor Swift, headlining Coachella, performing with Christina Aguilera, being on Disney Channel, so many more things. Next, Michael Jackson has old journal entries where he would work through his destructive beliefs. He would write affirmations like, I'm beautiful, I'm changing the world, I blah, blah, blah. Like before he was Michael Jackson, he would write all these things because he knew that he was going to be someone special, and obviously he is because we still talk about him to this day. And so many celebrities, right before they gave up, got their big breaks. Daisy Edgar Jones, who is an actress, she got rejected from a job she really wanted right before she auditioned for Normal People, which was her big break. Charli XCX, Chappell Roan, and Slater were all giving it one last album before they gave up. And you want to know what those albums were? Brat, Rise and Fall of Midwest Princess, and Worst Girl in America. Okay? So don't give up. Next, reminder. Ooh, it's literally on theme. Let's go. Every bad or good thing that happens teaches you something, and you're building a toolkit. Period. Okay, what I mean by a toolkit, is like every time something bad happens and you get through it, you now have something in your toolkit to help you next time. Pretty self-explanatory, but like I said, every bad or good thing that happens teaches you something. You never know why something bad is happening until you're on the other side of it, and then you realize how worth it was. Okay? So that was my afterthought. And now, first of all, make sure that you subscribe because all the most iconic people subscribe to me. And we're almost to 500 subscribers. Follow my TikTok. LOL, it's RuthAnn777. and comment below what you thought of it and what else you want to see. Now let's play some little videos for you. Stay iconic. I literally, okay, I give up.
What you believe becomes your reality. What you believe, where your consciousness is, where your frequency sits, that's what you attract to yourself. The universe doesn't say no. And what that means is if you are constantly focusing on something that's stressful for you, or you're lacking, like I need more money, the universe doesn't say yes, meaning yes, I give you more money. The universe says yes to it validates what you're thinking and what you're saying, which is that you don't have the money. The moment you start accepting that I have more than I need, you will see that you will have more than you need. So start smaller, and then once you see it work, move up to the bigger things, and I promise you, you'll see like a massive shift in your life.
Whatever you say out loud happens. So I think it would be manifestation, and it isn't just for me, but for other people in my life. Sometimes I'll manifest things for my friends, and they go, "That's, you said this and it happened," and it's very powerful.
You can literally have anything you want if you can think it, and you can let yourself get emotionally involved with it. You can have it.
Before he, like, everyone knew his name, before he gained all the fame, he wrote, "MJ will be my new name. I want a whole new character, a whole new look. I should be a totally different person. People should never think of me as a kid who sang ABC." These were his exact thoughts that were running through his mind, and he was mindful, and he realized, okay, these are limiting, these are destructive. And he knew that his beliefs were creating his reality. All these sticky notes that he would put on his mirror, he put everywhere, like, "I am beautiful. God is for me. Who is against me?" He said, "I am a new person now. The old me is dead." And I love this one. He said, "I am so grateful that I am a magnet for miracles."
I literally spent, every night of my life for about 4 years on Mulholland Drive after I do the comedy clubs, manifesting my life. I made a check to myself for $10 million for acting services rendered, post-dated Thanksgiving 1995, stuck it in my wallet, and 6 months before that due date came due, I was making $10 million for a movie.